corral. I'm happy to say all the cows are hauled home. Did I film any of it? No, I didn't. Far too nervous to do such a thing. Well, what I'm gonna do is film all this corral so that I can remember next year how good we had it. So this was a bit tricky here. That should definitely be improved. Can do some improving there, but we had this many gates, one there, and then one here. This one actually took the time and actually installed the proper hinge. The problem I did is I went through that 2x6, making it far too high at the beginning, and it does drag in the ground. That's probably the biggest mistake. But then we put another one here. We had to bring it out a little bit so that the door wouldn't touch this, but then we added another one here. So every gate on the farm has been used for this project. We added a couple 2x6 where it needed, but we did it in 5 hours, so I'm pretty happy. 84 pairs in 5 hours. Did about 200 kilometers per truck, so really happy with how it turned out. So now we gotta load everything up. I gotta go turn off the water, empty the bowls, and that will be it for pasturing of 24. I'm so happy. We went as long as we did last year. And last year was a record. We never went that long. So 2 years in a row. Last year we went to the 13th of November. This year it's the 12th. So I'm happy with that. Biggest improvement, these poking sticks. 6-7 foot poking stick. Allows you to poke that calf that's not moving in the front instead of pestering the one closest to you, the one that wants to move but he can't move because everyone's in front of him. So I don't know why we never thought of that, but that was a big improvement. I managed to load everything myself with this truck and trailer. My brother and Richard were on the other truck and trailer, and I kept up with them. I almost overlapped them. They had a bigger trailer, a little more to fill, but we did pretty good record time. So I don't need to film loading up gates, but that's what I'm gonna do. Load them all up. All right, so I'm just driving around to each water bowl and opening the bottom, disconnecting the garden hose and opening up the valves. We're gonna turn off the water then. I got a big air compressor that's gonna blow the lines clean out. So I just picked up 97 bundles of net wrap, so it means we fed 97 bales in this pasture here, not to mention the 2 loads I spread out throughout the pasture. So we fed well over 100 round bales this year just on pasture, and now it continues this winter. So I got one last water trough to empty, then we're gonna go back on the road and go back to the pump house. Not much of a pump house, it's just a valve, a bunch of valves we gotta close. So yeah, keeping a close eye out for any stragglers or any cows we might have missed. Never missed a cow, but you never know. Maybe a calf or something, or something certainly wouldn't survive the winter here. So got this last one to do. That'll be it. I was just on my way out of here. Noticed this duck blind was just on the edge of the water. I guess the wind might have blown it over. But it doesn't look like anyone's coming back to clean up after themselves. I picked up a fair bit of shells too, empty shells. People like to just leave lying around for some reason, I don't know. They're supposed to be, you know, people that like nature and like to conserve nature and all that stuff, but here they come and leave their junk everywhere. So I'm cleaning it up. I made a little pile on the posts here. I'm gonna put the tarp. I put the post on top of the tarp so it can't blow away. Hopefully when they decide to come back, they're gonna see that what they left, not anchored down. It's about ready to get blown away, so I cleaned it up for them. They can choose to clean it up or set it back up, do whatever they want. It's better than seeing it out in a duck pond where it's not supposed to be. So I'm not stealing it. I'm cleaning it up. And there's a big chance they actually might never come back here and pick it up. Those kind of hunters that just, you can see that like everything they're wearing just still has the tags on it, you know, like they bought everything just for the day and then they, it sucks. They don't go hunting ever again. So I think this is the case of what is happening here. All brand new gear. And they just try it out for a weekend and then it's back to the office and they say, fuck it, I'm not walking out there again. Shame, like, it's a good blind. Oh, more junk. This is not a blind, this is a conservation, animal conservation area. And the muskrats will make a nice house out of this if you leave it here long enough. I'm sure whoever this belongs to, they're gonna want it back. They're not gonna want it in the mud. It doesn't take long when a muskrat decides they want to build a house. You can see there, they just start stacking mud. And whatever you have is gonna be under the water and a muskrat house in no time. So this would probably make some good building material for a muskrat house. I guess they kind of recycle through them guys, but yeah. Anyway, so almost done here. Bring it up to the road for them, save them the hassle. Well, I think they'll be surprised to see it like this, but I think they're gonna rather see it like this than it in the pond, and they probably won't be able to find it, especially in the morning. There's not much light, so at least this is gonna give them a little chance to clean up. I actually fetch some of this stuff out of the water. I don't think they would have seen in the morning or in the darkness. Oh. Yeah, there you go. How much you want to bet that's going to be there next year? Not my problem. I shouldn't have cleaned it up. I hate seeing shit out in the water like it's Kuwait or it's freaking Costa Rica or it's Lake Ontario, you know. I don't want it looking like shit around here, because I appreciate the way everything is and I wanted to keep it the way it is. To start getting garbage everywhere, it don't go anywhere, it just stays there, like this stuff. That stuff stays like that for 1,000 years before it breaks down. Another party. Welcome to the party, everybody. Welcome to the shit show, everybody. Tire's flat. And cylinder said goodbye. I don't know why. I don't know why. Did I pop the tire with the cylinder? I was just saying how great a machine this was. Like, fuck, we had this thing forever. Never any problems with it. Except for today. So, leave the chat. Cylinder decided to leave the chat. Oh, bueno. Right? That fucking pin fell out. Did it? Ooh. Yeah, the pin fell out. I think that broke and it got kinked or something. It was a little stiff. It felt a little stiff. Anyways.
Broke off?
Yeah, the end.
The end broke off.
The whole eye broke off. Just welded it back on, but I mean, I think the pin fell out and then he got caught. I don't know. And the tire's flat. Alright, kind of got everything sorted out, put it back, put the pin in. The pin had fallen out, so I presume it fell on the ground, and then when this went to go fold up, it just got twisted off and broke. So, gonna hit with the pressure washer quickly. I had an oil leak somewhere. I think it's just this here. This is either busted or loose, probably broken. But, no big deal. Could have been worse. This gets abused, gets filled up. We took like half a bale of bedding off the back of this. Couldn't really see it. Yeah, we got everything cleaned up. Cylinder's off. Something. Oh, I think it's this one here. I think that one ripped or broke. I think that's where it was leaking. But it was pretty loose, so we might just tighten it up. This old girl needs some TLC. Holy God. I just washed her for the first time in her life. She could use a sandblast and a paint. That'd be a good winter project. We'd never do though. So I'm gonna try welding this eye back onto the cylinder. Will it work? I don't know. But we're gonna try. I was thinking maybe if I had a press, I could press that out. But I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna weld this actual part right to the cylinder. We'll see. I don't know. We'll hold. Alright, got it all prepped up here. Got it a little beveled. Gotta blast that with some high heat, some high penetration. Hopefully it's straight. I don't know. It's probably not gonna be too straight, but I don't know. Does it matter? I think one cylinder will take more. I don't know. We'll see. Right. She's smoking. She all welded up. It's crooked. I think it'll be all right. Making sure the shaft doesn't get too hot. It'll be all right. So I'm in the middle of a couple jobs right now, fixing that bale shredder. Just gotta, well, I let it cool down over lunchtime. It's probably cold now. Gotta put that back in, but I gotta close off this water line because we got no cows on this side, and that water bowl needs cows on it for it to keep it going. Otherwise, it's gonna freeze stiff. So. And then it freezes and then stuff breaks, and so we gotta empty it and turn off the valve. So that's why I got me looks like it's already, no, it has not. Done that last. Oh, just in here. So we're gonna have ourselves a little water party here. brilliant idea to do that first. I was just so excited to push that plug in. I forgot to use my brain. So, that comes off. Hopefully we don't short out on the wire here. Probably will. Sketchy. Okay, two hands. The water is turned off. Bale shredder is fixed. Now, this is what I was looking for. My camera's dirty again. Next, I'm taking this load of plastic to the recycling or to the garbage. Anyways, this trailer's not roadworthy at all. I was pumping up the tire and I noticed mucho loose. This came off before. So this is an army truck back end, 1950s I think, army truck. It's got all military stuff on it, which is pretty high quality, but when it's from the 50s, it's still pretty old. This used to have hydraulic brakes. And it used to be 6-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, I guess, the back end drove. Anyways, the threads on that side are left hand, and the ones on this side are right hand. So if you want to take it off on that side, you got to go righty tighty to take it off. We learned that the hard way. So military, you can see that. It's super hard to find tires for this. I think they're 20s or something. So I had a bad feeling when I was leaving. I don't know what it was. I had a bad feeling as I was heading towards the dump, and then I heard a racket. Oh, a racket. I thought that we threw a rod on the tractor. You hear that? That's the hanger bearing for the drive shaft has decided to delete or leave the chat, as we say, and it makes a racket because the flange is just spinning around on the drive shaft, and so I can actually control it as long as I don't go over 1500 RPM. But we turn around, we're going back home, so we gotta switch tractors. So today is the day of bearings and everything else breaking, so I'm glad it's not an engine, but fuck, everything's breaking. I don't know what's going on. I'm glad we got a new toy coming on its way. That's why I got the new hat on. That's gonna hopefully solve all our problems. I'm not gonna solve all the broken shit, but it's just gonna, anyways, you'll figure it out eventually one day. So I'll stop quickly, show you guys the carnage on hook on the 6010, and continue on my journey to the dump. So quite the eventful day. So at least we have a hydraulic jack. I'll turn this off just so you can not have the exhaust in your ears. Oh, this side. I don't think that actually spun when, I guess it does. Anyways, so you can see that this could easily take out the oil pan if it continues like that. So the flange main is all the way up here. And if it starts spinning, it could wear through that. So, mucho broke. Can you get out of the way, dog? I don't know how many times we frigged with this bearing and all that stuff. It just keeps flying off. So I think I'm just gonna bring it to the garage. Well, it really is just a bearing. Whatever, no big deal. Put it to the side. Oh, we just blew the auger bearing on the auger, so now we got another bearing to change. Fun stuff. 13,000 hours. What do you expect? All right, we got the 60 panel hooked on. I checked underneath. It's still got the cover. It's still got the cover on the drive shaft. That's how like new it is. It hasn't been fucked with yet, so that one's not gonna break. Now I'm more worried about the trailer. But come on, how many breakdowns can we have in a day? We can't have one more. It's impossible. Impossible to have another breakdown today. Come on. So let's go. So as I was driving down here, I was thinking, gee, you know, I'm gonna save a few $100s. So I'm just gonna go dump this load of plastic in the gully on my property. You know, just in like a non-farm area by a waterway, preferably. I'm just gonna dump all the plastic there, and maybe I'll even bury it or burn it. Yeah, you know, fuck it. I'm gonna turn my entire farm into a landfill just because I'm too cheap to bring a couple loads of plastic to the garbage. Sound familiar? No, you don't know what I'm talking about. But there are some people out there who are stupid or cheap, or they think they're better than everyone. I think it's more of an ego thing that they can just bypass the garbage system and quite literally devalue their property because they're putting garbage on it. So don't be like that. Don't do that. I know a lot of farmers have that mentality that whatever, but don't. Just modernize, and it's not expensive. Just get rid of your garbage the proper way. Yes, it's going probably to a landfill somewhere else, but at least it's not on your property for your children to, you know, look over for the many, many years and say, my dad, yeah, he was an idiot. He put garbage everywhere. Don't do that. Just fucking, God, it's not that big of a deal. We got about a whole year's worth of plastic. I cleaned out the garage this summer. There's a lot of old junk, a lot of plastic stuff that, you know, we have no value for, and just, you know, throw it out. So I got a lot of junk and plastic and just, you know, whatever stuff you find on the farm that you don't want blown away in the wind. So, you know, I can't stand how some people can do that. Just go dump the plastic on the farms. Forget about it. You look at it every day you pass by. It wasn't a good idea, was it? I was told it takes 1,000 years for this plastic, particularly silage plastic, takes 1,000 years to break down. 1,000 years. Yeah. It's a lot of generations of kids bitching at their parent, whoever put it there, you know. So, we're almost there. We gotta go through Plaisance, and it's pretty much through Papineauville too, so. We came here a couple days ago. We started hauling manure over this farm right here. You see my manure pile starting. There's a new seeding on this farm. We were contemplating if we should have cut it or not. I think we should have. If it was fenced, I would throw some cows in it. Alright, we made it. Just dumped. Yeah, it felt pretty heavy. We'll go see what the damage is. I want to say, a couple tons. 2-3 tons? I don't know. Good thing we got scales. We don't got to guess everything. So, this is in Papineauville. We could bring scrap metal here too.